We have buyers that are getting locked in at 2.875 right now in Corona. 2.875. That's almost 1% better than what I have on my own home. It's remarkable. What's up, guys? It's Mike Frank with Berkshire Hathaway, coming to you live from my living room, as I have been for the last couple of weeks. Super exciting. So, a lot of things are going on in the world, but everybody's wondering when we're coming to the end of quarantine, right? Not that I believe that this is the end, but just the thought process that maybe we're starting to wind towards whatever our new norm looks like. Whatever that norm looks like, that's where we're headed towards, and people are wondering what's going to happen in real estate. So we've been getting a lot of questions over the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, talking about what's happening in the market, what's happening to my value, what's happening to my closing costs, what's happening to my expenses, my interest rates, all kinds of questions, and people are wondering just what does this look like, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Just want to let you guys know, in the last week, I think we put 5 deals under contract. It's been crazy. So for everybody wondering if the real estate market is soft right now, sure, whatever you want to think. It could be soft, but I think really it's an aggressive spring market. There's a lot of opportunity for people that are looking to make a transition. People that are interested in selling, there's an overwhelming amount of buyers out there. For people that are looking to buy, there's a great inventory that we have in the market. It's a wonder that the limited inventory might be creating a buyer frenzy, but it's only for the right property. So if you've considered listing your property, what I would ask is, why don't you have a conversation with your realtor, right? You should talk to somebody that you trust to create the opportunity for you. Now, so with 5 contracts going under contract last week, we also had a number of offers that we're sort of in the process of working through. We have 2 or 3 that are like very close. We just got a counteroffer from one of the seller's agents today. Very excited for so many people that are looking to make this spring their time to own a home. We do have a lot of showings going on. People are wondering what's happening in the market. Are people seeing houses? Are people not seeing houses? Virtual tours, and what's happening? Well, there's a lot of showings, and that's the key to getting your home sold. People are worried about the lack of buyers in the market, or what's going to happen, or how do I show my property? And in the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. So let me just show you, people are looking at houses. First question, do we think more properties will be available post-quarantine? I think the logic would say that post-quarantine, we're going to find an overwhelming amount of sellers that are coming out of their cave looking to get their home sold. Their goal was to move this spring or this summer, and as the weather warms up, they're going to be more motivated to make that transition happen. So I think people are going to find there will be more properties in the market. But also at the same time, there's going to be more buyers out there competing for those properties. So the great properties are going to sell when they're priced appropriately. So I think that the ratio of buyers and sellers that sits in the market today is going to be consistent over the next 3 to 6 months. We're going to see that appreciation of value when we get properties to the market. So I think there will be more homes available, but I think there's going to be more competition. And I don't think that changes year to year. I think that's true whether we're in quarantine or post-quarantine. Our schedule is pretty crazy. So somebody asked, how will our personal schedule look, right? My personal schedule, Monday through Sunday, pretty much every day of the week, I'm going to come as I am, right? I like to have fun. I like to be relaxed. I like to have a low-key environment. So I was showing houses yesterday. I was showing houses on Saturday. What is your schedule going to look like? What are you going to make your focal point? Is real estate going to be a focal point for your life as you come out of quarantine? I think that's the big question is how do we make time for what we want to accomplish, especially as we're taking more time to accomplish our normal daily routine. So when we're taking an hour and a half to go to the grocery store where previously it might have only taken 20 minutes, we have to calculate for our schedule and create the opportunity for us to be successful. What is the first thing we're going to do when we come out of quarantine? Well, I can tell you first thing that I'm going to do is go to the office. I hate working from home. I hate it with a fiery passion. I'm too comfortable in my environment. I'm too comfortable where I am. It's lackadaisical. There's no accountability. I like having people around me. I flow off of other people's energy. So being here with nobody is really sad to me. I got to get out. I got to do what I got to do. And I'm wondering, what is your first thing going to be, right? I can't wait as the weather warms up. We're going to get back to baseball. We're going to get back to, sports and getting out there to the world and being with our people. The big question is, what is your schedule going to look like? And what is the first thing you're going to do? How do you prepare to come out of quarantine? How do you prepare for something that we've never dealt with before in our entire lives? For me, it's the same thing we talked about last week. Every day, waking up with that structured, normal routine. So for me, it's shower and coffee. For you, it might be something different, but if you don't have that structure to your normal routine, how are we ever going to go back to post-quarantine you? Pre-quarantine, you had no structure. Post-quarantine, you is going to have no structure. But without that expectation of what do you want to accomplish? Oh, yeah, I agree. Nicole says that she thrives around people. I know that she does. I know that you do. Because we're just the type of people that with that energy, we just enthuse and we love giving back to the world. It's so important for me. So for me, the opportunity to share and kind of build experiences with people here in my home, it's just been lacking for the last 2 months. We can't share. We can't build those opportunities. And so post-quarantine you needs to create the way that that's going to look, whether it's wearing a face mask all the time or whether it's going to be with your family or be with your close circle of less than 10 people, whatever that looks like, you've got to prepare to create that opportunity. I think that as we look at real estate, preparing to make your transition in real estate really means sitting down with your real estate professional, with your mortgage loan officer, and trying to figure out what does that transition look like. Creating those first steps, that morning shower, that morning coffee. For you, it might be getting pre-approved for a mortgage loan, or maybe fixing some credit repair that you have in the back of your mind, or maybe lowering your debt to get yourself into a place to buy a home. And so the big question needs to be, how are you going to prepare to come out of quarantine to get real estate on the top of your mind, right? Big question. Will interest rates increase? I don't know. Can't tell the future. Here's what we can tell you. Mortgage rates right now are lower than they've been in a long time. I know you've been hearing that for years and years and years, but it just seems like they keep going down, right? We have buyers that are getting locked in at 2.875 right now in Corona. 2.875. That's almost 1% better than what I have on my own home. It's remarkable. And that 2.875 by comparison to last year's 4.25 means a buyer that could previously afford a $250,000 house can now afford, with the same payment, a $330,000 house. It's remarkable. And it's affording people the opportunity to make homeownership dreams come true. And that's the key. So will they increase? I don't know. I just can't tell you that. What I can tell you is that we've been seeing some consistency in these lower interest rates, 3.25, 3.125, 3.375. We've been seeing consistency across that for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Before, there was a lot of volatility in the market. And what I'd love to see going through the spring market is going to be that consistency stay the same. Now, will interest rates increase? Perhaps, but it's really hard to tell. And if that's a concern of yours, then you should get with your mortgage loan officer today to figure out if that's going to be what the best fit for you and for your family looks like, right? Let's see, last question. Do we think people should still be hesitant or eager to resume their house buying process? I feel like there's no other option than to say people should be eager. But I'm going to tell you something that you probably won't expect to come from me. You should do what's going to be the best thing for you and for your family. You should protect yourself in the way that feels the most comfortable, that makes you the most confident in your decision-making process. If you feel like buying a house in 2020 is your goal and your focus to make your dreams come true, whatever that might be, then that's what you should do. But you know what? If you're concerned and you're nervous and you're just uncomfortable with the process at this stage of the game, maybe what we should consider is we should say, let's take a step back. Let's take a back seat to this. Let's be a late adapter, right? The early adapters are the ones that get the greatest return on their investment. The people that wait for that business to climax are the people that just see the rise of Apple stock and they buy in at the top. The late adapters are the very safe, precautious people. And what's important about hiring a real estate professional is hiring somebody that you can trust. And so the biggest question that you should be asking yourself is, am I ready to make this transition? Do I need more information? And if that's the case, get more information. Sit down with somebody. We're doing Zoom video calls. We're doing Google Hangouts. We're doing FaceTime calls. I'm doing video walkthroughs with drone footage and all the good stuff for some of my clients that are just not quite comfortable with the process of getting out and buying a home today, but they do want to make homeownership their goal. So ultimately, as you're considering, do you want to make your house hunt an eager resident in your life? Or do you want to make it something that you're a little bit hesitant to take on just because of the circumstances of the world? That's something that you have to figure out for yourself. Ultimately, having people that you trust to get you where you want to go is the biggest value that you can set. Now, as always, we talk about what's going on around town. Stay hopeful. Stay positive. Support your businesses, your local organizations that are out there doing so much for the community, and keep a good eye on the ball because we're almost there. Everything looks like we're going to be going through step one and phase one and whatever you want to call it of the Maryland response, that we're going to be getting back to our new normal shortly. Next week? Probably not. Next month? Maybe. We'd love to have the opportunity to get back together with all of our people this summer, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for weekly content. Also, check out our social media pages. The links are in the description below. See you next week.